Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. Welcome to the first episode of the investigation of the murder of Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman, successful actor. He retired, I believe, in the early 2000s. I believe it was around 2004. And for whatever reason, this particular case, it starts off on the wrong foot right away. Because the way they're setting this one up is as if there was some sort of carbon monoxide, whatever nonsense. No, Because first thing first, we have to look at the estate in which they live. This is not no ordinary place. This place has all of the technology, all of the safeties that would alert anyone of any impending danger. You don't live in this area, in that kind of place that is valued at millions of dollars and don't have no safety systems in place, especially when you're a man who is in your 90s. It don't work like that. And then there's another clue where they said that the wife was basically on her side and there was some pills sprinkled around. Now you have to be very careful when you listen to the wording of things, when they say there was some pills sprinkled around. These folks was murdered. Now, some may say, well, why would you want to murder a man in his 90s? Well, it doesn't matter what age you are. Murder is murder. People take pleasure in that, and there are reasons to benefit. You know, the door was unlocked. No one broke in. Their door was unlocked. A pet was in a closet with the door closed. Make it make sense now. Make it make sense. This was an in and out death. Now, the way they're going to spin it after they do the toxicology and all of the other stuff, the autopsy, all that other stuff, what I'm seeing here is they're going to paint this one as if it was some sort of carbon monoxide thing and it was just a horrible accident gone wrong. Now, again, I have training in this area. I know what it is. I know what it's about. When you have a situation with carbon monoxide, right? It is not something you can run from, right? When it's in the air, you don't know. You can't smell it. Do you understand? You can't smell it. You can't taste it. It's just in the air. And in my training, we used to wear these devices that would go off. Like if there's certain levels of carbon monoxide in the air, these safety devices that we wear, it would alert us when it's at minimal levels, and it would give us the opportunity to leave or to get into an area where there's air, right? So now, again, look at the estate where they live. You mean to tell me in this place worth millions of dollars, There is no, parts per million levels. That's correct. For those that may not know what ppm mean, parts per million, right? So you're gonna tell me in $1 million, a multi-million, it's not a million. That place is valued at almost, I believe, 3 point something million. When you look at the estate, the place they lived at, you're gonna tell me they don't have the safeties intact? You're going to tell me they don't get regular inspections and professionals that come to the estate to make sure all the safeties is working? Because remember, Gene, or Mr. Hackman, I should say, the late Mr. Hackman, was a very elderly man. He was not, in his 20s. He was an old guy. Let me see if I could get a photo for you. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see. Where is it? Where's the photo? Is this it? Okay. Let's get this on the screen. This particular photo here was from 2024. And it shows an elderly Hackman. You see this? Now, at his age, he was still able to go to the store. Looked like he probably got a coffee or something. I'm not sure if that's a box of cigarettes. I don't know. But you could see that this was a strong man. This is one of those elderly men that they're in their 90s and healthy, strong, able to move around. Now think about this, guys. At 95 years old and you're able to walk, you're healthy. You're a healthy man. At 95 years old, to be walking around and doing your own thing, you're healthy. You understand? So now the case is open. The media, the news is saying that this is some sort of mystery. It's suspicious. Ain't nothing suspicious. It was murder. Now the question is, who stands to gain? Who stands to gain? Because a husband and a wife was taken out. So who stands to gain? Now, before we continue, let's switch gears and let's listen to the 911 call. Let's listen to the call and find out exactly what was going on. Let's play the tape.
911, what is it? Is it emergency?
Hello, my name is the caretaker for Santa Fe Summit. I'm here at past 10,000 waves. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate. I'm going to wait for you to please send somebody really quick.
Okay, what's going to be the address?
It's going to be down at the gatehouse. I'll meet you over there. I'll meet them over there. I'm the caretaker for the subdivision. I'm going to bring them up here.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me speak with the paramedics.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
Damn.
Are you with the patient now?
Yeah, I'm over at their property. There's no address here. So I have to meet the ambulance or the police, whoever, down at the gatehouse. I'll bring them up here.
Okay. How old is the patient?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay, that's fine. Is the patient a male or a female?
A female and a male, probably. I don't know, sir. Just send somebody up here real quick.
Okay. Are they awake?
I have no idea.
Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Do they appear to be awake or alert?
No. It's not.
Okay. Are they moving at all?
No, dude. They're not moving. Just send somebody up here really quick.
Okay, my units are underway, okay?
I'm sorry?
My units are underway right now.
Okay, I'll meet them down at the gatehouse because they might not have a code.
You don't have like the actual address of the house of where this person lives?
I have no idea. There's no address. There's a reason why for that.
If you can get TV around, please. Okay.
Now think about that, people. Think about what's going on there. You have the maintenance. They pretty much claim they're looking in a window and they see them laying down. Now, how is that possible if they were doing their job? Now, I told you earlier that estate had to have personnel that would come there every other week to do landscaping, inspections, make sure everything is good, fine-tune the equipment in the house or the mansion or whatever the case is. But based on what the reports is saying, they put out a wellness call saying somebody need to check in on them. A wellness check? You know? And remember, the wife, I believe, was in her 60s, I believe. I'm not sure if it's 63, 64, somewhere around there. So this can't be one of them situations where we could say, okay, Mr. Hackman he fell, he hit his head and he died. No, because this involves two people. Two. And not only that, a dog was inside of a closet, locked up. Now, why would you lock your dog in the closet? So what are they going to spin this as? Are they going to say that the wife killed Mr. Hackman and then took some pills? Because remember, they said the pills were all scattered around the wife. Now, you have to know how they play this thing now. They really play these things in a way where it can confuse the listener and the viewer into thinking that, you know, maybe the place was robbed. No, there was no forced entry on no door. The door was left open. I mean, they lived in a gated community. You could leave your door open. Nobody ain't going in there. But it could be somebody that have access, somebody that you pay to come over. And a lot of times when you're elderly, sometimes people that you hire to do work and jobs, they might see the opportunity to get something that they want. Now, I don't know if Mr. Hackman and his wife had money in the estate, perhaps a safe, and maintenance probably use some sort of equipment in terms of substances that can kill them, you know, because again, it seems suspicious. And to be a gated community, you just can't enter in. You have to have access. There got to be a reason why you're there, which means to get in, everybody got to know you. You have access, credentials. There's a way to get in and get out. Because we heard the call, right? Let's listen to that call again so we can break this thing down, right? Let's listen to the call again. Let me see if I could do this. Let me turn this off right here. Refresh this, right? Because I want to get the calls. Let me see. Let me wait for this ad to finish and then we'll proceed. Okay. All right, let me put the volume up. And then we could cook. Okay. So let's listen to this and see what's going on.
Santa Fe 911, what is it? Is it emergency?
Hello, my name is the Caretaker for Santa Fe Summit. I'm here at past.
The Caretaker. That's the Caretaker. Now, when you hear the term caretaker, right, that is a term of someone who cleans, maintains the property. That's what a caretaker is. And not just someone who is, it could also be a medical person too. Caretaker. So now we got two different things. It could be a caretaker because the man is elderly, or it could be a caretaker in terms of someone who is maintaining the property. Now, the reason why I got to specify both is because they said caretaker. And because the media is saying maintenance pretty much made a call. So I'm trying to put everything together. Remember, I was not there. I'm just reacting and trying to break down what I'm seeing. That's all. Right? So let's proceed.
10,000 away. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate. I'm going to wait for you to please send somebody really quick.
Okay, what's going to be the address?
It's going to be down at the gatehouse. I'll meet you over there. I'll meet them over there. I'm the caretaker for the subdivision. I'm going to bring them up here.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me speak with the paramedics.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
Damn.
Are you with the patient now?
Yeah, I'm over at their property. There's no address here. So I have to meet the ambulance or the police, whoever, down at the gatehouse. I'll bring them up here.
Okay. How old is the patient?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay, that's fine. Is the patient a male or a female?
A female and a male, probably. I don't know, sir. Just send somebody up here real quick.
Okay. Are they awake?
I have no idea.
Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Do they appear to be awake or alert?
No. It's not.
Okay. Are they moving at all?
No, dude. They're not moving. Just send somebody up here really quick.
Okay, my units are underway, okay?
Now, when you really think about this call, there's a few things that is not adding up. If this person is a caretaker, they would know the area perfectly. I mean, you go there every day or every other day, depending on the schedule. So this person is talking as if though they're not really familiar with the place. You're looking in a window and you automatically notice that they're there. But I'm listening to the tone in their voice. It's like, if you're the caretaker, you would know these people to the point where you're like shocked about what you're seeing. You know? If you're the caretaker, you're supposed to know things, and you're supposed to be able to gain access. Because when someone have an estate that is of 3 point whatever millions of dollars, and you're there all the time, they trust you. They're not just going to have you there just doing whatever you do, and they don't trust you. They let you in. We know you. But all of a sudden now he's looking in windows. We need to see those cameras. That's another thing. The cameras. The cameras. What about the cameras? Now, I bet you somehow, some way, they're going to tell us that the so-called cameras don't work. We can't see nothing. We don't know. Because now we need to see what's going on. Now, in this particular case, if they don't show us the cameras, something is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Because we need to see the cameras of the maintenance, the caretakers, pretty much coming to the estate. We need to see this. There got to be cameras. There got to be cameras that can show what went wrong. Because there's no way that you could tell me that that house didn't have carbon monoxide alerts in that house. for them to know it's time to get out. You can't tell me that that's not in that house, especially if a man is in his 90s. If a man is in his 90s and he don't have safety in his house, something's wrong. And remember, his wife is in her 60s. So it's not like she's weak and can't move around and get, she can move around. It's not like she's his age. It's not like we could say, okay, there's a 95-year-old man and a 90-year-old woman in the house, and they're just unresponsive. They can't walk, they can't run, and they were struggling. No. A 60-year-old woman, even if she's in her mid-60s, is more than likely to move around if there was an emergency, make a call, do this, do that. How both of them end up dead? Do you understand? They were murdered. Now, if they spin this thing as carbon monoxide, there are ways to kill people. Now, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. There are ways to kill people and make it look like it was carbon monoxide. Do you understand me? Now, remember, maintenance. Let it marinate. Maintenance. Carbon monoxide. Maintenance. Somebody could have tampered with something. Somebody could have did something in that house with now watch this, guys. Watch this. With the carbon monoxide detector system, so that Mr. Hackman and his wife won't know. Because remember, when carbon monoxide is in the air, you can't smell it. You can't taste it. You won't know you're breathing it. And then it's just sudden death. You see what I mean? So it could have been that scenario, right? And then the maintenance man could have probably did the repairs, got out the house clean. Listen, when somebody knows the ins and outs of your estate, they can literally kill you with your own house and then clean up the mess, clean up the cameras, clean up everything, and you're left dead. Because how does the dog end up in a closet and two people are dead? The dog is dead and another dog is outside alive. Think about that. So how did they all find out? So no dogs were barking. So nobody visit? Let me read what the website is saying. Give me a minute. So I'm looking at TMZ right now. I'm just going to pretty much read it while you just listen in. It says, Gene Hackman, longtime pal, says, wife put him on strict diet. Remembers him as Joker, right? So now it says Gene Hackman's wife was very serious about the star's health. Put him on a strict diet years ago, and says his longtime friend and former business partner. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to find some info. Despite leaving the restaurant industry, Doug says Gene would often come by for a meal because of his diet. Bestie had him on, often ordered either a hamlet and rice paper salmon and I don't know. Well, I showed you that picture earlier with how he looked. So for 95 years old to be walking, obviously you're in good shape at that age. But now the real issue is the caretaker was not necessarily the person who worked at the place based on the reports. It's the caretaker of the neighborhood. So this is somebody who is a caretaker for all of the residents that live in that area. And now this is where it gets a little more tricky, because this is not a personal caretaker that come by. This is somebody that takes care of the area where they lived. This is somebody that drives around and does either repairs, maintain this, does that. So he pretty much is familiar with everybody. So it says a caretaker of the neighborhood made the 911 call to police, who arrived and pronounced the two dead at the scene. But how he just know they're dead by just looking in a window? And why is it that that window was so easily visible through so it can show that they're dead? They could have been dead anywhere in the house. Why at the spot? Why at the spot where the caretaker could look in? Out of all places of the house. It's so convenient. It's like, okay, let's die here so somebody could walk by, look in the window, see us, and then they can make the call. The call didn't seem right to me. Because why would the dispatch person or whoever be asking the maintenance person, are they breathing? Like, this is a stupid question. How are they going to know they breathing if they outside? If they're laying on the floor, unresponsive, that's all you had to say. But are they breathing? Come on, man. Who put these people to act? How do we know that call is even real? Because it's not making sense. You know? So it says a caretaker of the neighborhood made the 911 call to police, who arrived and pronounced the two dead at the scene. The investigation is ongoing. But now this investigation is ongoing, but when Stephen Twitch Boss died, nobody was investigating. Make that make sense. Think about what's going on here. Stephen Twitch Boss died. They didn't call it suspicious. They just said, oh yeah, he took his life. But in this situation, for whatever reason, all of a sudden now it's a mystery. It's suspicious. See, when you're a white man and you have either a white wife or a non-black wife and y'all both die, oh, now they want to do investigations. But if you're black, oh yeah, you took your life. That's what they'll say. Yeah, you took your life. The call sounds kind of suspect, guys. Now, Jean was 95. Let me see. The wife's name is Arkawa. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Let me see if I can yet let this speech thing pronounce the name. Let me see.
Arakawa.
Okay. She was 63. So, at 63, they're both dead. It says, despite his love for the quiet life, because what happened was when he retired from Hollywood, he just wanted to live quiet and just stay to himself and just, live his life. And it says, Doug says Gene was always cool about sharing Hollywood stories with his friends. As we told you, Gene and his wife, Betsy, were found dead in their home Wednesday, and the warrant application shows the police feel their deaths have a suspicious element to them. So now the police is looking at the situation. They're looking at the death and they're saying to themselves, this looks mysterious. This is some sort of mystery. There's an element of some foul play at hand. Because like I said, they're saying that a dog was in a closet, right? Let me open this page here. So their estate is valued at $3.8 million in Santa Fe. Yeah. Where he was found dead alongside his wife. The Superman star was found dead on February 26 alongside his wife and dog. Come on now, they killed the dog too. They killed the dog too. And they're going to spin this thing as if though it was possibly them taking their life or a freak accident. But how did the dog enter and locked himself in a closet? The dog would bark and you would let them out the closet. So there's some foul play when you look at the whole mystery. This is like a movie all over again. The Hollywood star retired from acting more than 2 decades ago and lived a reclusive life away from the spotlight in his New Mexico home, which he bought in the area because Santa Fe had a kind of magic in it. It goes on and says the house is now worth a reported $3.8 million after it underwent extensive renovations. Now, extensive renovations mean that they transform that place into a palace, right? Now, the renovations to transform it from a 1950s block building into a part Pueblo, part Continental, New Mexico. Let's see. Where is it? Where is this part? Okay. Jean's home was remodeled on 12 acres of hilltop, and it stretched to the Colorado mountains. Okay. Let me see what we got. Now, the area where he lived at, man, this is a very quiet area. This is not your normal neighborhood. Let me get another picture right here. Let me see if I could get this. This is another image of where he lived. Let me get that. Give me a minute. Put this on the screen. Okay. So if you look at the area where he was living, him and the wife, that's a very quiet place, away from everybody. Like you're literally in your own little world, away from people. You're literally away from everybody. So now the things that I look at is security, surveillance, things like that. I mean, he's 95 years old, so there got to be somebody that's watching these people. We know the wife is there, but there got to be someone, some sort of medical professional, someone that have access to the home to make sure he good. You know? Somebody had to pay a visit. Family, friends, kids. I don't know if he had any kids. I didn't do no research on that. You know? I'm just trying to figure out exactly what's going on. They said the wife's body what? The wife's body was muffled, what? Mummified, what? By Jean's body. Wasn't, let me see, which they said she had been unalived for a week or two. Yeah, I heard that part about it. It looked like it was about 2 weeks. So if they're dead for 2 weeks, that's already strange because, again, with an estate like that, there are cleaners that come, landscapers that come. They come like every other day, like every other week, like every week. The landscapers come, people that you pay to maintain everything. They come out there all the time and they do their job. So how they dead for 2 weeks and nobody don't know nothing? Like, this is crazy. You know? This is some sort of murder that I just can't connect the dots this early. More clues have to come in to the news desk. You know how it is when you start these investigations. You got to look at this thing and ask, well, who stand to benefit? Somebody always stand to benefit. But then sometimes people will kill you out of anger and they really don't want no money. You know? It could have been a sacrificial ritual because, again, in the industry of Hollywood, sometimes he was supposed to die a long time ago, and that's why he fled to live a secret life far away from Hollywood. So it could have been Hollywood saying, look, you 9 to 5, you're not just going to live there and not go through the ritual. We're going to have to sacrifice you. So it could be a sacrifice that was overdue. And being that the wife is connected with him, she got to go too, and the dog. But why the dog outside is still alive? You know? We need to see video proof to show if they were walking around the residence, walking around the property. There got to be something in the investigation that can show that when these people actually died or when they stopped coming outside. Because no neighbor is going to know. They're not around neighbors, guys. Of course, there's other houses around, but those houses are far away. So those folks will not even know what's going on. They were just dead. You know? They were just dead and nobody knew. So my thing is this. If the caretaker is the caretaker for the neighborhood, do he visit the home every 2 weeks? Do he visit the home once in a while? Because how is it that he now found out if they've been dead for 2 weeks? Y'all got to put that together now. If they've been dead for about 2 weeks, body just sitting there decomposing, and the caretaker is in the neighborhood doing his rounds, because I'm sure it's not just one person. It got to be a group, a team. At least two personnel. It got to be a situation where somebody saw these people and figure, let's get some money. Let's get something from them. Maybe there's some way they got something and was able to get it, obtain it, and then killed them. So now we're gonna have to check their bank records. We're gonna have to check bank statements to see if there was any sort of withdrawals or deposits or anything of that nature in the past month. We're going to have to look at that. We're going to have to look at any sort of property that may have been stolen. But I doubt they're going to have video footage, guys. I don't think they're going to have any video footage in this one. I think they're going to tell us there was no cameras, which makes no sense. Why would you have a $3.8 million home and you don't got no cameras? Does that make sense? It don't make sense. So these are the things I want you to look out for. Cameras. If they don't show us any cameras, you know this is a blood sacrifice ritual, which means they don't want you to see who came in and out of the residence. With a place like this, you're supposed to have surveillance all over it, even security. Where's security? How could you live there and have no security? How could you live in an environment like that? Fam, if I live right there, man, I'll be good, bro. That don't make no sense. You said the dog that died, they said was a German Shepherd guard dog. And other dogs were small dogs, not guard dogs. It's interesting because dogs are very intelligent with their senses. And not only dogs and other animals, but dogs are able to sense things that we can't sense, that we can't smell. They're very smart. And they can sense danger too. you know? But this whole situation clearly shows all the signs of murder. It's always about the money. You understand? Now remember, Mr. Hackman been out of Hollywood for years. So the last movies we all remember, you know, Superman, there's so many more movies. I can't even name them. It's a lot of classic films that he was in. Very good actor, very real. But at the same time, in the industry, there's a price. And maybe he wanted to get away from that. And his time came, but they said, no, you got to go. You ever wonder why people, like, how could you reach the age of 95 and then end up dead and your wife is dead at the same time? How does that work? That would make no sense. Like, how? How could that go wrong? You got a great life. You're in your golden years. You're in a mega mansion. You're away from society. You don't have to worry about nothing. You're just having and living your own heaven on earth. But yet, you got to deal with all of that. And now you end up dead. It don't make sense, man. It don't make no sense at all. There's definitely foul play in the air with this one. Definitely. Murder mystery. But who would kill a 95-year-old man? Who would do that? Could the wife have done it? I mean, we've seen how Stephen Twitchball's wife writes a book to lie on a man to manipulate the public in her favor. Because why there was no pills by Mr. Hackman? Why the pills were by the wife? Why would she have pills in her hand at the point of death? What are the odds of that happening? So you got to think, could she have killed him first and then killed herself? Is that what they're going to say? Are they going to tell us this was a murder S word? Is they going to tell us that? I don't understand. But something ain't right. Why the pills? Why would they say that in the media? Oh, there was pills by her body. Okay, what kind of pills? Are you suggesting that she took the pills? Because sometimes what they're telling us is what's going to be in the toxicology test. You know, when they do the autopsy, they're going to, oh yeah, she took pills. She took pills, guys. There was pills in her system, a high dose of X, Y, and Z. And they're going to label it as, oh, she killed him and then took her own life. That's what they're going to do, guys. I believe that's probably what they're going to do, man. With this one, all right, you see like how everybody's probably assuming that it's a mystery or it's suspicious. I think the way they're going to put this one is that they had some sort of drug in their system or something was in the system, and they're going to label it as there's a possibility the wife killed him and then took her own life. Because if they try to spin this as, oh, they died of carbon monoxide, I'm going to call BS on that. You guys living in a $3.8 million house. I don't want to hear nothing about no carbon monoxide, nothing. Y'all have that house upgraded with the best of the best safeties. You know what I mean? So if it was carbon monoxide in the air, trust and believe they would have had the warning. The whole house would have been ringing. Because when you have a carbon monoxide safeties in your house, whether it's a carbon monoxide with smoke detector and all of that other stuff, it'll ring the whole house. The whole house will be alarming. And when it's alarming, that's to let you know carbon monoxide is in the air. You need to get out now. Like, get out the house, call the fire department. So it can't be that. I do not want to hear that. The news better not come back and say, oh, they both died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I don't want to hear that. I better not hear that. Shout out to The Conscious BLKF for the support, sponsoring the show. Appreciate you sponsoring the work. Says, I'm glad you did this live stream on Gene Hackman. I was hoping you did. I look forward to more to more of your investigation on this. There's going to be more content on this because this is just not sitting right with me already. 2 people found dead. I need to see photos of these dogs. I need to see what these folks were doing 2 weeks from the point of death. If they don't have surveillance from that house, there's foul play automatically. You don't live in a $3.8 million home and you don't got no surveillance, guys. There got to be cameras around there because you're living in a secluded area where it's a gated community, but still, why would you have no surveillance? That's dumb. And it's not like you got to be concerned about somebody coming over, because when you live in an area like that, there is no burglaries. You don't got to ever worry about that when you live in those type of places. People in those type of places leave their door open. That's why they said the door was open. But then again, what time this was, what time of the morning? Because if the door was open, that means there should be videotapes of them going outside. There should be video evidence of them walking outside. If the front door to the estate was open, unlocked, no forced entry, that mean they had to step outside, possibly go to the car, so people would see them. So the question is, did a maintenance worker tamper with equipment in the home, causing their deaths? Or something else? Because who's going to try to take their life at 95? So I don't want to hear that Mr. Hackman decided he's tired of life and he took his life. I mean, damn, you're 95. Is it really worth taking your life now? No. So let's dismiss any sort of nonsense about, oh, Mr. Hackman took his own life. No, that's not possible. That's not feasible here. Not with this one. He's 95. He was 95. There's no reason for it. But now the wife being 63, there's a possibility that she could have killed him and then took the pills to kill herself. But if that happened, the autopsy would have to show that she had some sort of substances in her system. But then that also don't mean that she did it. It could have been somebody else who did it to make it look this way. But why? Why would she? What would be the motive of you killing Mr. Hackman and then killing yourself? Were they having marital problems? Were they having financial problems? I don't know. I doubt it, because he made a lot of money. So when you look at this situation here, it looked very, very fishy. But that phone call from the caretaker, that's the only phone call? There was no phone calls from family? What about their cell phones? What about the wife's cell phone? What about the husband's cell phone? Did they receive any calls from anybody? Any text messages? Did they receive a text message from the caretaker? Because before the caretaker come to the house, shouldn't he notify them via phone call? So there should be a phone call or some sort of correspondence from the caretaker before he got to the residence. I mean, who just pops up at a residence and just start looking in windows and says, oh, they're dead? No, I don't want to hear that. That sounds rather suspect. You know? That's what's really going on. How could you come to a place of residence to do your job and you don't let the residents know, the homeowner? You don't notify them and say, hey guys, I'm coming over, or I'm at the place. So there should be phone records that show this conversation. Who were they talking to before they died? Did family visit? Did family call them? Is he connected to his family, or he just abandoned everything and just said, you know what, I'm going to just chill with my wife and just grow old and enjoy my time? But again, when you live in a place like this, trust and believe, it's like a place, it's like your own little heaven on earth. Think about all the different things this place have. He got everything he needs there, guys. That's heaven on earth. Literal heaven on earth. You see what I mean? You don't need to go nowhere. The place where he live at has everything you need. That's how a home is supposed to be, you know. When you really think about it, a home is supposed to be a place that has everything you need, to the point where you don't even want to go outside because you got everything you need in the house. You got food, you got entertainment, you know, you could chill, you could do this, you got different activities, and you just don't, there's no need to go nowhere. You know? Yeah, the dog died too. How horrible, yeah. But they saying the dog was in a closet. How your dog end up in the closet? Think about that. How does your dog end up in the closet dead? Now, let's say the dog was in the closet for 2 weeks, or the dog somehow, it doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. Something ain't right here. That's like a major clue. Like how your dog end up in a closet? It don't make sense. Remember, dogs, all pets, they could see things coming. They could smell things in the air. So how did this even happen? First of all, which part of the house was the dog in? Because like I said before, guys, when you live in multi-million-dollar homes like this and you hire caretakers, maintenance men, landscapers, these are people that are professionals, and the community trusts these people. These people literally have access. You give them access and you trust them. They come to your house and they just do their job and go about their business. In other words, they'll come to the house. They might have the access key to get in the gate, and they just come in. They don't have to come inside your house, but they'll just be outside just doing their job, and then they leave. And you pay them to do this. It's a service. So who is this caretaker guy? And when was the last time he was at the residence? You know? When was the last time he was at the residence? Because it seemed like this caretaker haven't been there in a long time. And you got to think about that. When was the last time? We need to question the caretaker. How long ago you were at this estate if you're a caretaker? And what was your purpose for visiting the residence? You see? And why you were looking in a window? Did you ring the bell? That should be on some sort of camera system. We should see the caretaker approaching the residence, going straight to the bell, the front door. Here's the thing. Why would the caretaker be concerned with if they're home, if they're just there to do a job? Let's say, for example, the job is something that has to do with outside the residence. All they got to do is just do their job and leave. But if the caretaker came to the house to go into the house, that means that he had to have had some sort of conversation with the homeowner. You don't just pull up there and just say, okay, let me go knock the door without the residents knowing that you're coming over. So all of this is looking kind of suspect. All of this is looking very suspect. And I think that they need to focus on that phone call. This is why Allis and Hawker never made a 911 call, because we would be able to examine the phone call to listen to the tone so that we can understand what went wrong. You would never think in a million years that this actor would end up dead in this manner. After all the movies he'd been in, you would never think that this is how he would check out. You know? And it's just sick, man. Absolutely sick how a lot of these deaths are always like this, as if though there's someone taking their life or there was foul play. Like, who would mess with this guy in a secluded area? You know? Who would do that? Now, again, for his wife to be with him that long and at his age, she don't stand to gain nothing. So if we spin the story as of, oh, she took him out and then took herself out, what would be the benefit of that? You left behind a $3.8 million mansion, money. For what? Why would you do that? That's dumb. You know? It don't make no sense. Why would you do that and end it all? That's just like they said Twitch took his life. Why? If you're a millionaire, you got a nice house and a family. Who would do that? It don't make no sense. Right? So let me see. Let me go find some info. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the like button one time. This is actually a good actor, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. This man played in a lot of good movies, man. I actually watched a film with him in it about a month ago. I forgot the name of that film, but I watched a film with him. It's like all the movies that I watch with him, I don't even be knowing the names, but it includes other actors. Like the films be with him and it be with other actors in the film. It's not just him. It's him and other actors, other popular actors. And it's just a good movies. I'm not sure if it was a movie with him and what's this other guy? Is it Jamie? I'm not sure if it's Jamie Foxx. I'm not sure. But I know I've seen a film. I'm not sure if Jamie Foxx was in it. But I was watching it last month. Let me see. Okay. Let me go to this website and see what they're saying. Let me see. What's this?
Of a Hollywood legend. Gene Hackman found dead Wednesday alongside his wife, classical pianist Betsy Arakawa, in their home in Santa Fe. Police say the couple, who married in 1991, were found with their dog after a neighbor called police to do a welfare check.
Now they said a neighbor. Now they said a neighbor made a call to do a welfare check. So now we got to really think about this. A neighbor called and said, hey, do a welfare check.
Authorities say there is no immediate indication of foul play in the deaths, but they did not provide a cause of death or say when the couple might have died. The two-time Oscar winner always showing grit, intellect, and intensity on the screen. Hackman had the uncanny ability to vanish into any role.
And the problem is?
From tough as nails good cop Popeye Doyle in The French Connection, which earned him his first Oscar,
I'm gonna get him.
to Lex Luthor opposite Christopher Reeve in Superman.
Mind over muscle?
And after that, a remarkable run of iconic roles in dozens of films, winning over audiences with movies like Hoosiers and Crimson Tide.
Mr. Hunter.
He did a great job in the movie Crimson Tide. That's a classic film. Crimson Tide. Classic movie, man. That's one of my favorite. I watched that movie probably, I could say about 10 or 12 times. And it's like, it never get boring.
I've made a decision. I'm captain of this.
I remember they had the argument. It was him and Denzel on the ship. And I guess they wanted to shut it down. And it is a crazy movie, man. I really like that film. It's like all the movies that he did that was dope included him with other supporting actors that made it a very, very great film. It's just crazy how this man ended up dead like this. It's crazy.
Vote. You're relieved of your position.
And critics with a second Oscar win with Unforgiven.
He's got one barrel left.
He kept working even after heart surgery in 1990, turning to mostly comedic roles.
It was against the law.
Until his retirement in the early 2000s. Hackman and his wife moving to Santa Fe. He continued to work as a novelist, publishing his 5th book in 2013. Though the two were occasionally
So he pretty much published books. Okay.
Occasionally spotted together, Hackman largely preferred to stay out of the public eye in recent years, while audiences remember him through a remarkable on-screen career. Now police investigating the screen legend's death.
I mean, Steph, again, it's early, I know, and there's so many questions outstanding, but any idea how police move forward to try and figure out what happened?
Well, there are a few things. I mean, one is going to be the timing of their deaths.
Okay.
They discovered the bodies in the afternoon, but it's not clear exactly when they died. And also, the local paper is reporting that the sheriff is pursuing a search warrant, so that will happen as well, guys.
All right.
Search warrant they're going to try to get to look through the house. Interesting. And most likely things have been tampered with already. Because now it's like they can make up anything at this point. At this point, they can make up whatever they want to make up. And the public would just buy into it. You know? So, let me see what's going on. All right, let me start from the top up here. Gene Hackman and wife were deceased for quite a while before bodies were discovered as deaths called suspicious. The sheriff said there were no obvious signs of foul play, but authorities aren't ruling anything out as the investigation continues. Legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife had been dead for quite a while before their bodies were found in separate rooms. So they were found in separate rooms of their New Mexico home, authorities said Thursday, calling their deaths suspicious. Hackman, 95, and Betsy, 65, were found at their Santa Fe home Wednesday, along with their dog. An investigation is underway. A search warrant says the deaths are suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. Preliminary findings from the medical examiners found no signs of external trauma, and Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said the cause of death has yet to be determined. Carbon monoxide and toxicology tests were requested for both Hackman and the wife. Hackman's family said in a brief statement Thursday that he was loved and admired by millions around the world for his brilliant acting career. But to us, he was always just dad and grandpa. We will miss him sorely and are devastated by the loss, they said. All right? So This is just a crazy situation, man. It goes on, it says deputies were called at about 1:45 p.m. Wednesday to an address on Old Sunset Trail in Hyde Park. The sheriff's spokesperson, Dennis Womack Avila, said in a statement, 2 maintenance workers said they found. Now notice, it went from 1 maintenance worker, now it says 2. 2 maintenance workers said they found. Now remember I told you that when personnel come to the property, it has to be at least 2. It's never 1. Remember, I put a 1 in the chat if you heard me say that, just so that the court of public opinion know. Because I'm trying to make sure that the case have the proper information, because I know that's what I said earlier in the video. I said that you won't see 1 person show up. It's normally 2. Because you just can't do a job by yourself. You can't go to a location by yourself. And it's also for personal safety of the worker, especially when you're driving, because when you're in that line of work, you might catch a heart attack or a stroke or have a medical emergency while driving. So when you're maintenance or you're doing any sort of job that requires you to drive around, you have to always have a partner with you. In case you had an issue, your partner can notify the necessary services to take care of you. I know this because this is how it was when I was on a 9-to-5 job and we had to do certain jobs in different locations. All right. You had to do your job in pairs. Right. So now it goes on and it says 2 maintenance workers said they found the front door of the home ajar and the couple dead inside. According to the search warrant, it says deputies did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home. So basically what that's saying is that the doors were just unlocked. A man who identified himself as the subdivision caretaker called 911 to report finding the bodies. The call audio showed he told the dispatcher he would meet first responders at the gate because he didn't have an address for the house. Now, again, it's kind of interesting because if he's a caretaker, how you don't know the address of the house. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It goes on, says, quote, "I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked," he said to the dispatcher. "I can't go in, but I see them. She's laying down from the window." He couldn't answer questions about whether they were breathing or able to talk, according to the audio. "Dude, they're not moving," the caller said. See, notice the caller was pretty much getting upset with the dispatcher because, like I said, the dispatcher was asking a stupid question. You know what I mean? It says, "Dude, they're not moving," the caller said. "Just send somebody out here really quick." Right? So the wife's body was found on the floor of a bathroom. A space heater was near her head. Now, I don't know. A space heater was near her head and a bottle of prescription pills. Now, okay, we got a clue, ladies and gentlemen. We got a clue. We have a clue. There's a possibility that they sped up her death because if a space heater was near her head, was the space heater on? Because if medication was used and you have someone that is unconscious and the space heater is there and it's near their head, right? The heat from the space heater while they're unconscious can also kill them, and it can speed up the process of the death if they took this said medication. I don't know about what kind of medication or what kind of pills it was, but they're saying based on this report that, and this is coming from NBC News, NBCnews.com, you can pretty much read this article. They're saying that the body was on a bathroom floor, near a bathroom floor, a space heater was near her head, and a bottle of prescription pills was on the counter, the warrant says. Now, they said the prescription pills was on the counter, but then they say the pills was all around the body. You know? This don't even make no sense. Let me see. He said they are not moving, but to separate locations. Jean was found in a bedroom. How could caretaker see? That again, you're right. You're right. Because remember, he said he's seen both of them. He said he's seen both of them. That's right. It's getting crazy, man, when you look at this story. You're right. You're on the case too. You're an investigator too. You know, you're an investigator too. Because like you said, he said they are not moving, but two separate locations. Jean was found in the bedroom. How could Caretaker see the bedroom, then see the doors locked? But when officers arrive, doors are open. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, there's foul play. And I think that's why they know there's foul play, because they probably listened to what the caretaker had to say, and they concluded that the stories have some discrepancies. There's some conflicting stories over here. It doesn't make any sense. You know? Nah, you did a good job, to be honest. You know? So it goes on and it says that the wife's body was on the floor of a bathroom. A space heater was near her head. Now, if it was near her head, what are the odds of her, right? Let's just say hypothetically, the wife just passed out. What are the odds of her falling down and her head is right next to a nice portable space heater? Now here's the thing. Why would a space heater be in a mega mansion? Why would you have a space heater in a mega mansion? A space heater. I mean, I have two space heaters in the house, but I never use them. You know, I didn't even buy them for the house. These are space heaters that I brought from New York that I would have, you know, just put it on my desk and just keep it there while I'm, you know, just doing some work in my office. But how is it that she's on the ground, on the floor, and a space heater is just so conveniently there? Yeah, to speed up. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So this got to be foul play, because when you put it all together, it makes sense. So a space heater was near her head, and a bottle of prescription pills was on the counter, the warrant says. The responding deputies believe the heater could have fallen in the event the female abruptly fell to the ground, the warrant says. So now they're saying that the heater could have fallen, but why is it in the bathroom? Why is a space heater in a bathroom? I never recall having a space heater in a bathroom. Why would you have a space heater in a bathroom? I don't know, man. Have you ever put a space heater in a bathroom? Listen, a space heater? Nah. It's not adding up. The responding deputies believe the heater could have fallen. Doesn't mean it did. Could have fallen in the event the female abruptly fell to the ground. But see, they're saying abruptly fell. We don't know why she fell. She could have been placed there. The warrant says the pills from the bottle were scattered on the countertop, it says. A German Shepherd was found about 10 feet from her in a closet in the bathroom. Now, why would a German Shepherd be found 10 feet away in a closet? Why would that be so? That doesn't make any sense. A big old German Shepherd, them dogs are big too. They're big dogs. You know? Don't make no sense. You said because the toilet get cold. If the toilet get cold, why your house don't have heat? You're in a mansion. Remember, we're talking about people that are in a $3.8 million house, right? There is no need for a space heater to keep the bathroom seat cold or keep it warm. Matter of fact, you got so much money, you can buy a toilet seat that could keep it warm or whatever the case is. You got so much money, you could do all of that. So let's just throw that one out. That ain't gonna be it. You know, you ain't gonna have an electric space heater to keep the toilet warm, because remember, the wife was in there. She's 63. I mean, I don't know anybody that has a space heater near a toilet because they want the toilet to be warm. I never heard of that before. You know? Never heard of that before. Let me see. So it says okay, we read that part. So it was in the closet. It goes on and it says Hackman was found dead in a mud room near the kitchen. So again, how was the caretaker able to see both of their bodies on the floor, right? But they're in different rooms. How is that possible? So there's definitely some foul play. It says Hackman was found, he was dead in a mud room near the kitchen, according to the warrant. It says the deputy believes he may have fallen suddenly. Both bodies showed obvious signs of death, the warrant says. The wife also shows signs of body decomposition. Two other dogs were found alive on the property. One was in the bathroom with the wife, and the other was outside the home. Right? So they were in two different rooms. Two different rooms, guys. But the caretaker said they were in the same room. He said he looked through the window and saw them. Make that make sense? Sheriff Adam Mendoza said that there are no obvious signs of foul play, but the investigators aren't ruling anything out. It's not normal to find two people deceased in the residence, he said Thursday. That's concerning. And then there was also a dog that was in a kennel that was also found deceased. Interesting. The fire department tested, but did not locate signs of a carbon monoxide leak or poisoning, the warrant says. There it goes, guys. Do you see that? Do you see that? Let me see if I can put this on the screen real quick. Let me put this for the court. We got to make sure that we put this out there, right? I got to make sure I do this because in the investigation, we make sure we gather all the receipts, all the information, and we make sure we broadcast all of that. So let me put this on in the video so that the timestamps and everything is there, because we talked about this earlier. I was telling you about carbon monoxide and how I don't believe that that's the case. I just don't believe that that's the case. It can't be, can't be that. Let me see. Okay, let's get this on the screen. So it says the fire department tested, but did not locate signs of a carbon monoxide leak or poisoning, the warrant says. So we got to rule out carbon monoxide, right? Do you see how we do that in the investigation? We're not here just to say things and just waste your time. We ruling out carbon monoxide. So that's done. So this has nothing to do with carbon monoxide, because again, when they find two bodies unresponsive in a house, the fire department is going to be called and they're going to do a carbon monoxide testing to see if there is a leak. Because again, you cannot smell this. You cannot taste this. If you're in there and there is a high, parts per million of carbon monoxide in the air, you're going to die suddenly. You're just going to die. You know what I mean? This is why when I was on a 9 to 5, let's say we're around certain chemicals, you can only be in an area where there was poisonous chemicals or various other gases, and it would have to be at low levels. You can work with your respirator or whatever proper PPE you're wearing only for a short time. But once you're there for a minute or two, like a certain amount of time, then you got to leave. You got to get out. They tell you that in the training. You got to get out, and then you got to let another worker come in so that you could get some fresh air. Even though you might feel you're good, you're really not good. You can have a sudden death, right? So it goes on and it says, New Mexico Gas Corp, which provides natural gas services to the home, conducted testing on a gas line in and around the residence. So the gas company pretty much did their testing too to see if there was any leaks. As of now, there are no signs or evidence indicating there were any problems associated with the pipes, the warrant says. Now, again, I told you, this is a multi-million-dollar home. They're going to have all sorts of maintenance and tech that would come to the residence to make sure that everything is running properly. I told you. You have to do that in that line of work. This is one of the job titles that I had when I was on a 9-to-5. I had to make sure that I report any gas leaks, that I report that there's any sort of signs of anything. I would have to use my testing equipment to see if there's any carbon monoxide in the air, if there's any sort of unhealthy gases that are around that can disturb either the working staff, or perhaps the residents in the complex. So not only did the gas company conducted tests, the fire department conducted tests, and based on that, there's no gas leaks, there's no carbon monoxide leaks, there's nothing in the air, there's no poisons, there's nothing there. So what else do we got? We got foul play. We got foul play. That's what we got. So it goes on and it says, as of now, there are no signs or evidence indicating there were any problems associated with the pipes. The warrant says the gas company said it is assisting the sheriff's office. Hackman's and the wife's body weren't formally identified until 12:30 a.m. Thursday, 2:30 a.m. Eastern. So basically, this situation is just crazy because now, how did they die? How did they die now? Now, how do you conclude that they're dead now? How? How did they die? How could they die if there's no carbon monoxide poison and there's no gases? So what are they going to say? That the wife killed the husband and then she took some pills? Come on, y'all. Remember, I said this from the beginning. I told you, he's 95. So he's not going to try to kill himself. You know what I mean? Because remember, he's in the bedroom or some sort of bedroom or mud room or whatever the case is, dead. So that means he was dead first. She's in the bathroom and then there's pills next to her body. So the way this is going to be spin, if I can look in the future, is they're going to possibly look at this as if though she possibly killed him and then took some pills to take her life, because there is no other way you could tell me that two people died at the same time in one house. And if it's not that, the autopsy, toxicology, and all that other stuff that comes back is going to have to conclude that if it say that there's drugs or some sort of thing in their system, that means it's foul play. But two people cannot die at the same time, including the dog. How did the dog die, guys? Explain to me how the dog died if there is no carbon monoxide, no leaks, no gas leaks. There's nothing there. So how did the dog die? There's foul play. They were murdered, guys. Yeah, they might say that it was a murder S word. And please avoid the S word in the live chat, right? YouTube don't like that word. For some reason, YouTube get very, very upset about that word. It really triggers the system, right? So just say kind of like self-delete it, or just put the S word. Let's put S with a bunch of asterisks or something along that way, right? So let me see. Okay, so let me get this off the screen here. You said she was dead longer. I think I'm not sure if I probably read that earlier, because my mind is focused on just driving the car right now. Yeah. So, hey, we're going to have to wait to see what they got to say, man. But this is looking kind of weird. You know, this is looking very weird, to be honest. Because there's no carbon monoxide, no gas leak, so that ruled out. So how did they die? And how did a dog die? How do you explain this? Somebody poisoned the dog, but left the other dog outside? Come on now. Something happened to these folks. Somebody killed them. And they're trying to make it look like a murder S word. But that ain't gonna fly. And here's the thing. They killed the German Shepherd. They killed the big dog, but it looked like they left a little dog or whatever the case is, it looked like. They killed the dog that makes the noise and put that in the closet. So I guess if the dog was barking or whatever the case is, they could get that dog out of the way. It could have been a situation where somebody got into the house, the dog was barking, right? They put it in the closet, right? And then possibly killed the dog after that. You know, maybe made the dog breathe something or put something over the dog's face, killed the dog, suffocated the dog. They would have to run tests on the dog too to find out cause of death. And then they went to work on the folks in the house. There's so many different ways to spin this, but as of now, the carbon monoxide narrative, throw that out the window. So it's not that. So next is foul play. They keep switching up on the story. Yeah, the story keeps switching up. They need to get their life straight. The jury are taking their own. Let me see. The jury are taking their own kind out. Okay, I get what you mean. I know exactly where you're going with that one. I could read the coded message. Yeah. The human heart and the human brain each have their own memories. That's so crazy. And the dog, yeah, they took the dog out. I think they put the dog in the closet because the dog was acting up. And then they killed the dog to get it out of the way because it would make noise. So they probably took the dog out first. But they said the dog was 10 feet away from the wife in a closet. You know? That's pretty much what it is. Let's see what else we got in the comments. And make sure you hit the like button one time. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel today for the best commentary and criticism on YouTube. Ringo TV Reactions. We are #1 on YouTube. That's right. We're talking about the investigation of the death of Gene Hackman and his wife. And this seems to be foul play. They're calling it a suspicious death. And based on what we're getting at the news desk, fire department did their testing. There's no carbon monoxide, no poisonous things in the air. The gas company did their routine testing to see if there's any leaks on pipes. Nothing came up. So how could two people just suddenly die at the same time? What's really going on? Right? So we're going to pretty much keep you posted. This is part 1 of the murder mystery of Gene Hackman and his wife. Ringo TV Reactions salute you. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're going to bring you more news on the story and put the puzzle together. Because when the testing come back, this is going to be a very interesting ride, ladies and gentlemen, because again, we're talking about a very popular actor. He retired in the early 2000s, starred in most popular motion pictures with various high-profile actors. We all know who this actor is, and we're all puzzled. At 95, this is how he passed away. Something is wrong with this particular story. I don't know nothing about the wife, but if the wife is dead with him, that means this could have been a murder plot. And a very good one, too. It could have been an orchestrated murder plot of someone that they know. It could be someone that is affiliated with some sort of money deals or something along them lines. But remember, he's a retired actor. So does it involve book deals? Does it involve anything of that sort? There's a reason for this. Sometimes people just kill people out of revenge, and it has nothing to do with money. They just want to see you dead. You know? Because I got a lot of people that don't like me. You see? I got a lot of people that hate me for no reason. All I do is speak the truth. And they're jealous. You know? And he pretty much got away from Hollywood. He got away from the world. And he just wanted to go live in a nice community, a nice area, and just live out his days. He was 95. He knew he wasn't going to be here forever, but damn, he was around, did his thing, you know, lived in this area here. And as you can see, that's him right there. And that was in 2024. You know, it looked like he carrying a box of cigarettes, it looked like. You know, you have those old timers that they'll be 90-something years old still smoking cigarettes. Right? But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to get up on out of here. So y'all rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Ringo TV Reaction salute you. You take care. All of you that are on the 9-to-5 grind, graveyard shift, everybody that's on the road traveling, all the truckers, everybody out there, you be safe on the road now. Also, to the viewers and the supporters of the platform, I have to make another announcement regarding my Cash App. I noticed that a lot of you may not have followed the update that I informed the people. My Ringo TV Raw, at Ringo TV Raw Cash App is my business Cash App. That is the only Cash App you're supposed to send any sort of support, donations, contributions to. If you have me saved on your phone, some of you had made the mistake of sending support to my personal account. Please do not send any money whatsoever to my personal Cash App. You have to look at it because you're gonna assume that that's my main Cash App. It's not. If you look at it carefully, it's not the same Cash App. So if you're viewing, double check. Do not send any support to my personal Cash App. That's for my family so that I can pretty much do what I got to do with my family. Anything regarding social media, business, your support goes towards the business Cash App, which is $sign Ringo TV Raw. The thing is, when I upgraded the Cash Apps, I continue using the original Cash App that all of you are used to and I converted that to the business account. But what happened is the old account, I switched that Cash App to a new Cash App handle. So being that you have it saved, you're going to think that that's the Cash App. You got to double check it. Remove that one from your favorites. Come to the platform, as you can see, pinned to the top, and re-save my Cash App that you see in the live chat so that you don't make that mistake. About 7 of you sent support to my personal. Please do not do that, right? Do not send nothing to my personal Cash App. Send it to my business Cash App, because Cash App is very finicky when it comes to you receiving any sort of contributions. You know, so I want all of that to go towards the business account so that I can take care of business and do things properly so I don't get in no damn trouble. You know what I mean? So I might make a community post about that so that everybody can pretty much be up to speed. So yeah, I'll make a community post. That way you could probably double check so that you know what's going on, right? But look at the Cash App. Make sure you know what you're sending to, because what I did is I took my picture off the Cash App that you have saved. So it's going to be blank. That's to let you know. Don't send nothing there. Check where you're sending it. $ Ringo TV Raw is the business Cash App, right? Don't make the mistake of sending it to my personal account. So that being said, we're going to get up on out of here. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat wherever you are. And that's about it, guys. We're going to leave the building. Y'all have a safe one. Ringo TV Reactions. We out of here, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $ Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw.